Hello guys, I'm Tura. Today I'm gonna show you how DHCP starvation attack work. I use my virtual lab. I use GNS3 for router simulation and VMware for my hackers and VTM machine. GNS3 can download from gns3.net and VMware can download from vmware.com. If you have any trouble with set up your virtual lab, please email me. Here is my topology. I use Cisco router for my DHCP server, and I use Windows HP for my victim and Kali Linux for attacker machine. So firstly, we we should know how DHCP server work, right? DHCP server is automatically assign IP address to network clients. It's a cool feature for network administrator, but some vulnerability exists. This is how DHCP work. I show you. Here is my DHCP server, and here is my attacker. If normal DHCP transaction like this is if the client send DHCP discover packet and the server send DHCP offer packet and client request DHCP request and the server send DHCP acknowledgement. This is a normal session. When we attack, the attacker send DHCP discover like discover packet. Let's see this picture. Here the attacker send DHCP discover packet with random MAC address. Then the DHCP server release the IP address for attacker. Then the legitimate user can access the network. So let's see how it works. Here is my router console. So I change the IP address to IP address for my interface. I use /c subnet for only 254 IP address. So I set up a simple DHCP server in my router. Network for router 1 and DNS server. We don't need DNS server, right? So lease infinity and exits. Now I enable our DHCP service. So yeah, okay. Now I enable DHCP server in my router. So let me check in legitimate user. Here, as you can see here, it can get IP automatically from our DHCP server. Can use here's the DHCP server address, right? So I same setup in my curly box. So let me check. Here as you can see here, Kali box has also dynamically assigned IP address. So check in our router, show IP DHCP binding. Here DHCP server leads to IP address, right? So now we will contact our attack. We use tool called Yersinia. It's on Kali Linux and exploitation tool Cisco attack and Yersinia. We use graphical mode. Here's GUI version is a beta version, so it's DHCP. We choose DHCP dash and launch attack and send in DHCP discover packet. Here's OK. Now it sent DHCP discover packet. So let me see in router. Whoa. Legitimate DHCP request will occur, and so I set my return and I request new IP address. Release, renew, check in router again. Oh, as you can see here, it has many route DHCP packet attacker sent. Here return cannot get an IP address because of attacker sent or tons of DHCP discover packet, right? So here's a return can access the network, as you can see here. Okay, here return can access because unable to connect your DHCP server, request has timeout, right? Yeah, here's the problem with DHCP server. So let me check with another tools. Here, as you can see here, now I change my DHCP network address to 192.168.1.0, and we try with another tools here. As you can see here, now our DHCP server is okay. So let me check. Here is two address, one for our Windows XP and one for Kali Linux. Now in Kali we use another tools called threat testing, threat testing, and DHCP IG, right? It's simple tool, like you can only input my interface one ETA0 and it start the attack. Now here let's see, it sent 192.168.1.4, 106, 108. check in the DHCP server. Here same as Yersinia, but this tool is more efficient, I think. Okay, so here, right? that the DHCP server can give an IP address, and victim can get an IP address, and it's totally out of network. Let me check. Wow. Yeah, victim can get an IP address, right? It's it is a DHCP server, DHCP starvation attack. So we I changed my DHCP server to Cisco to PFSense. Uh, Here is our PFSense firewall, and it has a DHCP server. You can check here our DHCP configuration. As you can see here, its range is 192.168.1.2 to 192.168.1.100, and we see that. Okay, here, as you can see here, Scully Linux is 192.168.1.2 and 192.168.3 is my HP box. Check in Kali. Yes, 192.168.1.2. Like we ran big.py eda0. As you can see here, right? It sent a fake DHCP discover packet and fled our DHCP server, right? Okay, here it sent a lower DHCP packet. Here, if the victim had accidentally shut down or reboot his machine, and he can get an IP address from a DHCP server. Okay, so here is all the attack type, and we see the countermeasure. First countermeasure is we enable port security to defend against DHCP starvation attack. Here, if we have a layer 2 switch, we again, here's my port. We again is a port security, only 5 MAC address. If he use 6 MAC address, then this port is shut down, and we use this command in Cisco iOS, and we use another layer 2 switch which supports this switch port security, and we use a countermeasure for route DHCP server. If the now DHCP server is flooded and the attacker create its own fake DHCP server and do a man-in-the-middle attack, so we also need prevent route DHCP server. So here we use snooping in Cisco router to defend our route DHCP server attack. It's something like this: ES port, switch port, and trusted DHCP server is here. Use command in DHCP binary. It's only trust this DHCP server, and here's the attacker send route DHCP server. It can get, because we use this the DHCP trusted port. Okay, so thanks for viewing. If you have any question, email me. So that's all for this tutorial.